like while it does make some sense to put cameras on the earbuds, like what do you do with people with long hair?
Exactly.
Right?
I was thinking the same exact thing. Like every hairstyle is not going to be compatible because there's a lot of people that have hair that covers their ears.
Even mine is starting to go over my ears a little bit, you know? I did see Aaron, he did post something about that apparently they found also that there's going to be like a hair detection notification or something like that, where it's like if you want to fire it up but your hair's in the way, it'll warn you probably auditorily, like through the headphones, like, hey, your hair's in the way. And then you got to maybe put it in a bun or whatever the case is. But that is something to consider. Like, if you have long hair and you wear your hair down all the time, you're going to cover your headphones.
See, I'm wearing my hair up today, thankfully. So
just for this episode. Speaking of AirPods being so good, tell the people what happened late last night.
So there was a leak in one of the macOS betas, not the developer beta that's going to be coming out in September or October.
Not the 27 beta. Wait, what is that one? It's not the Golden Gate beta.
Yeah, not the Golden Gate beta, the Tahoe beta, the latest Tahoe beta, the RC for that, had a video in it, basically demonstrating visual intelligence with the new AirPods, the unreleased AirPods. So Aaron Paris, who contributes to Mac Rumors, found this video inside this beta, basically demonstrating what it's like to use visual intelligence with the new upcoming AirPods with cameras.
Kind of crazy. But I mean, I don't know what's crazier, the fact that it leaked early or the use case that's being shown or the actual feature that's being shown, you know? But I mean, to paint the picture, it was just like a 15-second promotional vertical video. You know, we'll leave it in the show notes for you guys to check it out. And it was like a Siri voice narrated situation. And it was a gentleman. He has AirPods in. He pulls up a book, and then he like starts visual intelligence, and he asks him to save the book for later. Basically, right? Is that what it was? And then that was it.
It says with visual intelligence, your world becomes available. So there was this narration on this video. With visual intelligence, your world becomes savable. Rather, see something you like, just ask me to save it for later.
That's so crazy.
Basically it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then did the AirPods look any different to you? They looked the same. I kind of zoomed in. Maybe they look a little thicker on the stock. Maybe. But they look kind of the same.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because it doesn't show cameras or anything of that nature. And it doesn't show, it doesn't really show any detail with the AirPods themselves, but the actual interaction, there was no iPhone that this gentleman had in his hand at all. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of indicating, obviously indicative that this was the AirPods that was causing that. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted. All this stuff is just like constantly.
Yeah, everybody's blowing up your line right now.
What is happening here, man? Like it keeps popping up, wanting to share my notes with you, and I'm not hitting anything.
No, we're collaborating together already. Apple, leave us alone. I know we're talking leaks about you, but I mean, what was your initial reaction when you saw it? Because I know we've heard that, we've had the rumors of like a camera AirPod version. We weren't sure if it was coming out or not, or what that looked like. So now that this is here, this sounds like it's going to happen in the next month or so when Apple releases all their iPhones. It could be saved maybe for a little bit later in the year, but otherwise, why would it be in macOS 26.7? But what did you think?
Well, that's the thing. Because it's in the 26.7 RC, that tells me that this is imminent. Like these things are coming out sooner than later. So I'm thinking the iPhone event would be a perfect time to reveal these. But my first thought overall, just the use case scenario, it seems very Apple-y the way they're going about it. It's kind of a weird, because we're in a weird time. We just had the last episode about the smart glasses and the pluses and minuses of having cameras built into smart glasses. So this is sort of Apple's first foray into that space. They're not smart glasses, obviously, but they are a wearable with a camera. That's these cameras are there, obviously. But the use case, the way Apple is going about using it, is a little bit different than, say, Meta with their glasses, with these always-on cameras that seemed to be, well, that can record at all times. Mm-hmm. Apple seems a little bit more, I guess, constrained on their use case. From what we're able to gather from these, this seems like a visual intelligence tool more so than just a general camera that's strapped to your ears. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it's going to be, like, you won't be able to take photos and videos and save them to your camera roll, I don't think, with these cameras. I think this is purely for, like you said, visual intelligence, visual context, just to add another layer of, know it all or know how, force Siri to help you out with whatever situations you are. Whether it is like a direct thing, like the demo showed of saving that book title, or more of like an indirect thing. But that's another thing. I wonder if it's going to be, I doubt that it's going to be an always on situation, because that'll go against everything that Apple does. So I think it's going to have to be prompted for it to take action for you, or start to take images or whatever the case is. But I mean, I thought it was cool, but I'm trying to think of there aren't many situations where I'm like, oh, I need to figure out what this is in front of me. It's too hard to pull my phone out and figure it out, if that makes any sense. Like, I've never felt that as a crazy friction point. Maybe once I have these in hand, or we start using them, we start to see the value of just being quickly and instantly being able to get context or save something for later, or remind me to call this number, or remind me to make a reservation at this restaurant that I walk by. So I don't know. I want to see what the use cases are and if they're beneficial enough to really warrant whatever is about to happen.
Yeah, because from the video, we're obviously filling in a lot of the blanks.
Yeah, we're picking at straws here,
Yeah, just that 10-second video tells us some, but it doesn't. There's a lot of stuff that you kind of have to fill in the blanks to try to figure out. So a lot of the details will be revealed, obviously. The use case scenarios, that's probably the biggest question mark, because it doesn't seem, to your point, that these are always on cameras. That would go against a lot of different things, namely battery life for the AirPods.
Yeah.
That would be a very difficult thing for those to manage as well. So yeah, it seems like it's just something that the user would prompt to take action on. So, for instance, you're walking in front of a poster and there's some sort of advertisement for a show that you want to attend. Same thing you have with your iPhone. Visual intelligence can take a picture of that and then process that and save that to your camera, or save that to your calendar.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But I one of the things that pops out to me also as a possibility is just for a accessibility point of view.
Yeah.
Like, what type of advantages will this provide for those users that need those accessibility features? I'm sure there will be some.
I 1,000,000% agree. I definitely think accessibility is going to be big time on the forefront of like features for this this new sensor, this new AirPods camera. Same way that they did the heart rate sensor in the AirPods Pro 3. Same way that they did the hearing aid thing with the AirPods Pro 2 and 3. Again, huge headlining features with accessibility as like the main selling point. Because again, Apple's the good guy here, right? That's what they want to portray themselves as, especially once they start. Again, because it can be taken as one or two ways. It can be taken the meta way, where it's like an invasion of privacy, cameras on you, I don't need any more tech on me, this, that, and the third. Or you can go the Apple route, which is what Apple's really going to push, which is accessibility and, privacy focused, and the fact that, again, it's just going to be a net positive to your day to day, right? But what I do think Apple has going for them is the societal outlook of what this is going to be like. Everybody and their mother has AirPods, right? People walk around with them on all the time already. So if they don't look any different, people aren't going to feel weird about putting the AirPods in and using them like they use normal AirPods, just with the added bonus of like, hey, if I need to get added context with these cameras, it's nice to have them built into the AirPods themselves. I don't have to wear glasses. I don't have to worry about charging something separately. I don't have to worry about what it looks like, what it looks towards other people. It's like, I already wear AirPods, and people are just going to know that I'm wearing AirPods, and that's that. So I think that's the huge advantage that Apple has on top of the privacy stuff, where it's all just going to look normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To me, Apple is approaching this in a much more pragmatic way. Like, it's not just Meta's approach is just record everything,
Yeah.
feed it to Instagram. Yeah, feed it to Instagram. And that's garnered them a very negative reputation. As we discussed the last episode, smart glasses, because of that, have a really negative reputation overall, fair or not. Where the Apple approach, I think, on this is a much wiser way to go about this. It's a smarter way. Good point about everyone already wears AirPods. They're not going to look extremely different anyway. But just think about the use case scenarios. That one, the visual intelligence one that they showed in the video. I mean, that's a pretty basic use case. But think about, say you were traveling to China, and you don't speak Chinese, you don't read Mandarin or whatever the case may be, but there's this huge sign that you need to read, like some information. You're traveling. Well, if you have your AirPods in with the cameras, you can just look at that and say, hey, what does this say? And it'll translate that for you right there in your ears.
Supposedly, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a use case scenario, potentially. But that's more of the route I see Apple taking with this versus just recording everything and it's using this as like a head-mounted camera in some respects. I don't see them going that route at all.
No, I fully agree. I mean, and AirPods, we've talked about it before. Like, AirPods have just been this perfect kind of stomping ground for what Apple's eventual Siri AI is going to be, right? They did the live translation feature, which is already amazing. They keep adding more and more languages. Now they're doing, hopefully, the cameras on these things. It's already tied to your iPhone. And, like, again, going back to the societal piece, if you remember when Meta first announced their, like, heads-up display glasses, not the ones that are currently out, I think the one generation before, they, like, brought creators in to go see it. It was like you had the glasses, then you had this, like, band on you to help you, like, interact with it because it read, like, I don't know, some sort of pulses in your wrist. And then you had, like, a puck that you had to wear on you as well because that was, like, the compute power in the computer for those glasses. Again, I mean, Apple users already have an iPhone in their pocket, they have an Apple Watch on, and now they're going to have their AirPods in there. I mean, they already do. So everything is already, like, pre-built in. There's no friction into this experience. It's just, like, an added bonus. Like, hey, you already carry all these things. Hey, you already own this stuff. If you just buy the latest AirPods Pro 4, which are going to be the next version anyway for better ANC and better audio quality, better battery, whatever. Now they just happen to have cameras, and they can be like your eyes, literally your eyes and ears for Siri AI and Apple Intelligence, while everything is being processed on your phone, and you can maybe even control something with your wrist or something like that. So I just think it's going to be a very seamless and easy way for people to slowly adopt this without feeling like they're being forced on to get another piece of hardware or another piece of, like, everyday carry that they have to carry with them.
For sure. Because, I mean, as nice as the Even Realities glasses are, that's still a commitment. Like, you're putting... I mean, glasses are much more intimate, I guess you could say, sort of wearable than earbuds. Like, because it really fundamentally changes the way you look in a lot of ways. Like, people can look completely different with glasses. I mean, the whole Clark Kent thing. Yeah, exactly.
Who's this guy?
I don't recognize him. Oh, there he is. So
that's true. The Clark Kent thing. That's a good one.
Yeah. So that right there, I mean, there's a barrier to entry just on that. And then you throw in the whole prescription thing. Cause like with me, I need prescription lenses. So I would have to go through that whole thing to get prescription lenses for it. It's just a lot to go through. Whereas there's just very, very little barrier to entry with having cameras on your AirPods. And honestly, a lot of the people that will buy these in the future probably won't even realize that though they have cameras to a degree. Like,
just like the heart rate sensors. Like, I think my brother just upgraded to the Pro 3s because he had like the original AirPods Pro, and he just got the Pro 3s because they were the latest ones. And he's like, oh, I didn't know these had heart rate sensors in them. They were just like the next one to get. You know what I mean? Same idea for sure for the Pro 4s.
Yeah. So I think it's. I mean, I'm excited to see the use cases more so than anything, because that one that they showed in that video is pretty That was pretty lame.
Very basic.
Be
Very basic.
like,
you're right.
Yeah, very. And I won't say lame, but just very, very basic. Like you looked at a book and it was like, just ask me to save it for later.
Somebody did bring up a good point because I tweeted something about this, and they were like while it does make some sense to put cameras on the earbuds, like what do you do with people with long hair?
Exactly. Right? I was thinking the same exact thing. Like every hairstyle is not going to be compatible because there's a lot of people that have hair that covers their ears.
Even mine is starting to go over my ears a little bit, you know? And then people with long hair. And then also I did see Aaron, he did post something about that apparently that they found also that there's going to be like a hair detection, I don't know, notification or something like that, where it's like if you want to fire it up but your hair's in the way, it'll warn you probably auditorily like through the headphones like, hey, your hair's in the way. And then you got to maybe put it in a bun or whatever the case is. But that is something to consider. Like if you have long hair and you wear your hair down all the time, you're going to cover your headphones.
See, I'm wearing my hair up today, thankfully. So
that's just for this episode. So I mean, that'll be curious to see how Apple tackles that one. But yeah, I mean, again, I want to see the use cases. I am curious because again, this is going to be John Ternus's first event as the Apple CEO. I'm curious to know if like what's going to be the one more thing. Are they going to save the iPhone Fold for the one more thing? Are they going to save this for the one more thing? Are they going to just get rid of that one more thing altogether? I'm just curious to see how this is all kind of played out over the next couple weeks here.
Well, I'm also curious about, because like one of my complaints famously about just soloing AirPods and an Apple Watch is that I don't have my camera on, so I can't take pictures of wildlife like the old person that I am.
Yeah.
It's funny because yesterday I actually got this. Let me show you real quick. I don't know if you can see it, but you probably can't see it.
What is that? I can't because I'm watching you from a different screen.
Oh, okay.
The
yeah.
viewers can see it.
It's a picture of a deer that I could pet this deer just on my jog yesterday. But stuff like that, like I needed my iPhone to do that. Whereas it would be nice if you didn't need to have your iPhone on you with your Apple Watch in order to take photos or videos. Do you think Apple would even allow that?
For it to be like a quote unquote real camera that you can kind of save
like
photos
to be able to take short clips, not long drawn out clips, but maybe like a 10-second video or a picture or something of that nature.
I mean, they could definitely open it up, but I do think, especially in the beginning, I think Apple's going to be like, these are just for Siri context. These are not going to be for like sharing photos around. Like that's one thing is I'm not a big fan of Whoop to be honest, but that's one thing I'll give Whoop credit for. It's like they've asked the CEO multiple times, like, why not just like throw a little screen on here to like see the time, right? Or like throw something on here. Because then the CEO came out and said like, the second I add one thing, then I have to add another and another and another. And then it turns into a smartwatch. And that's not what we want the Whoop to be, right? So it's kind of like that idea. It's like they start adding these little features where it's 15-second video, a couple of burst shots, then they got to start adding more and more and more. So I don't know. Let's see how Apple kind of plays it out. And like, are they going to open it to third party? Like, are they going to open it to other third party apps to be able to use that in some way, shape, or form? Who knows? And I wonder if it's going to have like acoustic capabilities. Like, is it going to help from a sound quality standpoint somehow because it's seeing the room that you're in? You know, like that kind of stuff. Who knows? You know, there's probably a ton of different applications aside from just, hey, what am I looking at and save it for later? You know?
Yeah. And I was just thinking about like, I don't know. This is still going too far.
No, the bird watcher.
Like, on a run and like the workout buddy, because the workout buddy it's cool. It's okay. Like
it's fine.
It's fine.
I got kind of mad at my workout buddy yesterday, but I digress. Keep going.
Workout buddy is cool, but I feel like it being able to see around you would maybe add a little bit more like realism to your workout buddy. It's like, oh, look at that deer over there, or
that's so true. That would be funny. That would be cool.
Or as you're walking, like even the signs or the trees, or just like helping you to be a little bit more immersed in your environment, to take it in and to see things that maybe you wouldn't normally see. I don't know.
Or what if you saw like there's like a monument that I run by every single time I run? Like what if it sees a monument and then it's like, oh, do you want me to like tell you what this is while you're running?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it could make the workout buddy that more immersive. Or maybe there's a tourist mode and you're touring a city, and as you're walking around, it's telling you literally, it's almost like a guided tour. Like, you know, those things in museums that you can, those little like things, they don't really have them anymore because now they just have Bluetooth. But back in the day, you had these little things you could take around with you, and it'll explain to you all the various photo or pictures at like the British Museum, paintings and stuff like that. I feel like Apple, that would be something that Apple could do. Like they would partner with a certain museums like the Met and be like, hey,
the Natural History Museum.
Like we have special AirPods tours only for the AirPods. I don't know. That's taking it a little too far. But you see where
if you don't have AirPods, to the other line.
yeah. You get no culture. You are not cultured if you don't have AirPods. But yeah, like kind of on that wavelength, I just feel like there's a lot that I could see Apple doing that doesn't necessarily mean filming everything in that you walk past. Like it's just a lot more smart than Meta. Meta's just like the obvious, but I feel like Apple will untap the not so obvious.
Which I agree, and that's why I think Apple's like in fine shape. Everybody's like, oh, Apple's losing the AI race, blah 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 blah. But like, no, I just don't think they want to be OpenAI. They don't want to be Meta. They want to do it the right way, like you said, in a pragmatic way, like ease people into things, not just like throw it down their throats because if you don't use it now, you're going to be left behind forever. And like, but you know, a lot of these other AI companies are very like doomsday, it feels like, right? Well, yes, they help productivity a lot, and like there's ways to use the tool as a utility. Apple's doing it very softly, right? Very slowly. Sure, they got some backlash because Siri took a little while. It took them like 2 years to get to where we're at today, but I think they're going to be fine, right? In terms of like their ecosystem and how they're going to bring it to us over time. And it's just going to be like a natural extension of all the tech that we're using. And that should be the right way to do it. And I'm just curious to see how it all kind of just pans out over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah. Here's my biggest question. I'm interested to know, will this, because obviously they're not processing this visual intelligence data on your actual buds. Right. That's not going to happen. Right? But will the Apple Watch be able to do that? Yeah, I guess that's probably far-fetched. I'm just kind of riffing off this, but I'm thinking like, all right, I pick up this device and I ask, like have my earbuds in, my new AirPods with cameras, and I just like pick this up and I'm like, hey, what is this? That's actually kind of useful. Or maybe save this for later. Or like the book illustration they had in the video was, I mean, but I could see it like with physical objects. Like, for instance, there's a type of screw. Maybe you're working on your car and like a screw fell out of the engine bay or something like that. And you pick it up and you're like, what is this? What is this screw? Like, where does this go from? Or what type of screw is this? That could be, and you don't even have glasses on.
Yeah, you don't need to have a Vision Pro on. You don't have to have glasses. Like, I think those are all really cool use cases. Or I mean, the other day I was personally, for the first time in my life, for some reason the hot water went out, and it was just because like the water heater got reset by accident, and I went and opened it, and I was like, oh, I don't really know what's going on here, and I pulled out ChatGPT, and it figured it out for me, and I was able to kind of get it done. But imagine that in your AirPods. It's like, oh, can you look at this, see what's going on, and why isn't my hot water working? And then it'll just like walk you through how to turn it back on. You know, little things like that for sure. Very useful. Right.
And then think about the Siri app. Like, if it does take these pictures, these are going to be saved in the Siri app, right? So for future reference, it's starting to kind of click with me now. Like, as we talk this out, I'm starting to feel like this could be a pretty big deal, especially because you're able to do so in a super subtle way. Because AirPods are just normal now. Like, you don't even like. When these first came out, this was like so weird. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you wearing now
the toothbrush in your ear?
Now even the non-AirPods look like AirPods. Like, and they're just they're everywhere. So this is going to be
powerful.
Think about the data by itself. This is going to be powerful. that combined with the new Siri is going to be a big deal. And it may not be a big deal Gen 1, but they are definitely working towards something that's a huge deal without having to augment your face with glasses initially, at least.
Yeah, agreed. And again, it's all going to be based on how good Siri ends up being. And Siri's, again, so far Siri's been good. Siri AI, again, it's not going to be your Claude code. It's not going to be Codex. Like, you're not using it to write code. You're not to build apps. It's your personal assistant where it can reach into all your Apple native applications and get you relevant things whenever you need them. So if it keeps going down that path, adding some literal eyes to Siri, I think is going to just make Siri that much better for sure. So
yeah,
that's
I'm
the
excited
AirPods
about these actually.
Pro 4. Do you think they're gonna? Because what I've read was that these are going to be another version of AirPods Pro. Like, they're not going to be like an AirPods Ultra or something. So do you think they're going to keep the AirPods Pro 3 in the lineup for now, once these are out, as like another option? What do you think? Also, how much do you think these are going to be?
Oh no, I don't even want to conjecture that. I think $400, $399.
No. You think so?
Really? You don't think so?
I thought they were going to be like $299, like $300. Because regular Pros, the Pro 3s are $249, right? Because then you get into AirPods Max territory. Because right now you can get AirPods Max for $450 on Amazon, but they are $550 retail. I don't know if they were $400, maybe $349. I don't know.
I would not be shocked if it was $399. I mean, I could see $349 as well, but it would not surprise me to see these retail at $400. It would not.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess let's see. We'll figure it out. And I'm curious to know if they like forego the heart rate sensor to make room for these new camera sensors. So if you want the heart rate version, they've got the Pro 3s, or if they're going to keep the heart rate in the Pro 4s and just add more to it. You know,
I would think, and that may explain the thicker stem. I mean, obviously, you're going to need more battery, I would think.
Yeah.
Like for cameras, you're going to need more battery, so that could explain the thicker stem as by itself. But I don't see them backing out the heart rate sensor. To me, that seems like that's such a nice feature to have. It's a subtle,
I like it.
Like, it's a low key feature, but it's something that I wish I had, because I still rock the Pro 2s.
Mm-hmm.
But I always miss when I go on a run. If I don't wear my Apple Watch, it's like you don't have heart rate. So,
and then did the run even count?
Yeah, exactly. So that would be a nice thing to have. I just have a hard time seeing Apple reverting on their Pros for that reason.
No, I agree. I guess, let's see the price point. I think they're going to hold on to the Pro 3s as an option, at least to begin with. And then they'll have like the Pro 4s be like their top of line, obviously. I hope they're not $399.
Yeah, you and me both.
Because if not, it's going to be September's already shaping up to be expensive.
Yeah,
but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, I mean, let us know what you guys think. Is this something that you guys want? Is cameras on your AirPods? Does that sound is it too far fetched when you just kind of say it blankly? I'm curious to know people's thoughts for sure.
It's funny because it's just an interesting idea, and I think it's hard to kind of initially make it click in my head about cameras, because when you have a screen and a camera, there's a direct feedback loop, right? Like your camera sees, and then you're able to see what the camera sees instantly, right? But there's no feedback loop from cameras mounted on your AirPods, so it's hard to get initially. But as you start to talk it out, like, you're seeing the use case scenario. So basically, the feedback loop is the voice in your earbuds. So this just takes a little bit of getting used to thinking about the practical use cases for it. But as you talk it out, I think it becomes ever more apparent.
Yeah. I think it's going to make sense, and I think Apple's going to do it the right way, and I think they're going to eventually sell like crazy, and then kind of go from there.
I just think it's interesting that you don't have physical glasses. I think that's a huge win for Apple. Honestly,
they got to be the first ones to really do this. Maybe there's some like off brands that have done it before, but yeah, I've never seen cameras on headphones. And are they going to be like 360 cameras? Like, which way are they going to be pointing? He had to raise the book up a little kind of eye level. That's the one thing I noticed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm also equating it to Vision Pro. Vision Pro has a bunch of cameras, obviously, but I mean, if you're double tapping your fingers all the way down by your lap, it's gonna see that. Is it gonna be the same kind of camera situation? Who knows? I don't know. It's just I'm curious to see the use cases, any compromises they had to make, like what the field of view is. Is it like all around you? How high do you have to hold things for it to be noticed? You know? And then people wear their headphones in different positions, right? Some people are crazy and they wear it upside down. I've seen people wear it on the subway, you know? So everybody's got different ear shapes. So the cameras are going to be pointing in different directions for different people. A lot of variables to consider, for sure. Right? But yeah, that's our emergency pod, I feel like, right? We got it done.
Woo, woo. We got it done.
AirPods Pro. I'm excited. I'm just excited for September in general, finally, you know? Folding iPhone, variable aperture on the iPhone Pros, new AirPods, new home stuff. All that's left is, I guess, putting macOS on my iPad. We'll get there one day.
On that note, we will see you in the next episode.
Peace, everybody.
See ya.